Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates Ayman al-Safadi said that the Arab League is the only framework of Arab collective action. The Arab League is strong and capable of giving, Safadi said in his opening remarks at the Arab League Council's Arab Foreign Ministers preparatory meeting in Riyadh ahead of the 29th Arab Summit. But he added that the Arab League will remain weak if Arabs do not adopt joint Arab planning and action. Safadi highlighted the need for joint work to end occupation, civil wars and their devastating repercussions, saying that peace is Arabs' strategic choice and Arabs will do their part to achieve it. He stressed the importance of the Arab Peace Initiative as the only means to establish regional peace, while also affirming the need to reach a political solution to the Syrian crisis and counter terrorism in general. Also in Riyadh is Minister of Industry and Trade Ya'rab Qudha, who said economic and social integration between Arab countries has been slow and lagging behind other nations. Speaking at the inaugural session of the Arab League's Economic and Social Council, he said it was important to step up work in underachieved areas while not allowing regional instability to deter progress. Qudha added that when Jordan presided over the Arab Summit, the kingdom worked on implementing significant recommendations that had a direct impact on the joint Arab economic action. He said there were high hopes the Arab Summit would boost inter-Arab economic integration to lead to the prosperity of the Arab people. Over to the latest on Syria, as the world anxiously awaits the American response to developments there. U.S. President Donald Trump said he is holding meetings on the Syria crisis and expected decisions on the American response over the suspected chemical attack on the Syrian town of Douma to be made soon. French President Emmanuel Macron, meanwhile, said France has proof the Syrian government carried out the attack, while British Prime Minister Theresa May convened a special cabinet meeting to weigh whether Britain should join the US and France in a possible military action. Germany said it will not join any military strikes against the Syrian government. There was no direct word from Russian President Vladimir Putin on the crisis, but Russia's ambassador to the UN said the situation over Syria is very dangerous, and the immediate priority is to avert the danger of war. Bashar al-Jafari also said that two teams of investigators from the Global Chemical Weapons Watchdog are due to arrive in Syria today and tomorrow to look into the alleged attack in Douma. And while world leaders discuss their response, Russia, Syria and the US already began maneuvering their naval fleets following warnings and threats of attacks. Meanwhile, on the ground, Syrian government forces raised their flag over the last rebel stronghold in eastern Ghouta, taking full control of Douma. Jaish al-Islam group in the town agreed to withdraw following prospects of U.S. strikes on Douma. Russia's news agency said Russian military police were deployed in Douma today in accordance with the rebel surrender deal. Some 40,000 people, including thousands of rebels and their families, are leaving Douma for opposition areas in northern Syria under the agreement. On the Palestinian Front, an Israeli airstrike killed one Palestinian youth and wounded another in the besieged Gaza Strip. Palestinian sources said Israeli fighter jets fired a number of missiles at a Palestinian resistance post east of Al-Shuja'iyya neighborhood in the central Gaza enclave. The airstrike was followed by a similar aerial attack on another resistance post south of the enclave, but no casualties were reported. In the West Bank, meanwhile, Israeli occupation soldiers rounded up 17 Palestinians. The Palestinian Prisoners Society said Israeli troops made the arrests when they stormed the West Bank cities of Qalqilia, Nablus, Jenin, Tubas and Bethlehem. In sports, former world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury will make his comeback after an absence of more than 2.5 years in a fight in Manchester on June 9th. Promoter Frank Warren made the announcement and said that an opponent has yet to be named. The British Boxing Board of Control suspended the unbeaten 29-year-old's license in 2016, citing anti-doping and medical issues. That suspension was lifted in January, subject to medical clearance. Fury has not fought since beating the previously undefeated Vladimir Klitschko to claim the IBF, WBA, and WBO world titles in November 2015.
A beautiful smile to hide the pain. For you were the one with all the glory, and I was the one.
And finally, a look at the weather. It will be warmer and less humid tonight than previous nights, while tomorrow sunny spring weather is expected across the kingdom as temperatures rise 2 to 3 degrees above their seasonal average. Amman can expect a high of 26 degrees Celsius and a low of 14 degrees, while in the Gulf of Aqaba it will be hot with a high of 35 degrees, dropping down to a warm 22 degrees at night. With this, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Dana Absham. Thanks for watching and have a good night.